good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this great big world, but wherever you are, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter which team you like. There is only one team, and that is the Houston Astros. One of the wonders of the world, the Astrodome, once it was built, we all became under its power. So it doesn't matter who you like, even if you like the Red Sox. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you this. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but at the same time, I don't. You live under the dome that belongs to the Astros, that's for sure. Call it Dyking Park. Call it what you will. But you live under it, baby. You're under the authority of the Houston Astros. Oh, Deline, you email me. Okay. I will check it out, sir. I've been a little bit busy today. Had a few things going on. Had an interview earlier today on the phone, or on the video chat rather, and then I had to do some work outside. The water coming off the roof of my house, it is causing too much water to get under my house and cause some erosion. So I was digging a trench around the front and around the side and putting some plastic inside that trench so that whenever the water comes off the roof, it follows that down into the drainage pipe and away from the house. So I'm quite worn out from that. But yes, I will definitely check for your email, Deline. Thank you so much for sending me something. And I don't know if Rod is around. He might come in later if he's listening in right now. Thank you so much. He bought me a coffee earlier. He's bought me several coffees over the past couple of months. So thank you so much, Rod, for that coffee. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I think in a couple of days I might use that money to go have breakfast at the cafe. Yes, Abel, go Stros indeed. Go Stros indeed. Let's goes. We're going to quickly go over the lineup right quick. We got a few minutes. I think we got about 8 minutes before the game starts. We got plenty of time. Plenty o' time. I don't know how many people are actually going to be watching this game today, but actually I'm happy that it's starting at 12:35 a.m. instead of 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is a very difficult game for me to call. You know, if it starts at midnight or a little after midnight, it's so much easier because when the game is finished, I can literally go to sleep for about 8 hours. It's no problem. I don't have to get up early. But when the game starts at 3, it means I have to go to bed, get up, and then maybe go back to sleep, but it's difficult to do that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Chris is in. All right. Are you, I guess you're out of the coffee now? Out of the coffee. Yeah, I'm definitely speaking like it's after midnight now. You're out of the hospital now. I am wishing you nothing but the best. Really hoping that you just do better and better and better and better. But you said that you checked the chance to wean yourself off of 3 cups a day of coffee down to 1, since they only give you really weak coffee. You know, in Japan, they have some vending machines that have like 15 or 16 different types of coffee. And I remember the first time I was in Japan, I was in Tokyo, and I was in the subway, and they had this machine that had lattes and hot chocolate and all these different coffees and all these different drinks. It was like 30 different selections. And I saw weak coffee is one of the selections. And I learned later that in Japan, weak coffee literally means Americano. It's American style coffee. Yeah, Chris, I have no idea. I've never seen a game at this time. So this is my first time calling a game at midnight. Luckily, a friend of mine in China, he wanted to have a video call with me, and we were able to talk for about an hour up until about 30 minutes before I needed to get ready for the game. So it worked out well for me. I stayed up. I watched some YouTube videos about some anime, and Had some tuna. After that, I talked with my friend, and then I prepared for the game. And now here we are, game 3. Out of the hospital, I'm clean. I've bathed like 3 times. I still feel like I've got hospital grime on me. I hear that. I hear that. You've only had a cup this day, trying to cut down since you've only had wheat coffee at the hospital. So, oh, wheat coffee. That sounds interesting, but yeah, I know you meant weak coffee. Well, if you're drinking black coffee, if it's just black and you're not putting anything in it, then I think you're good, because black coffee has antioxidants. But the thing is, if you add any type of animal fat to it, then what happens is it binds with the coffee, and you can't get the benefits of the antioxidants. I don't know if you guys and gals knew that or not. Judy says, is baseball a big thing in China? No, not at all. Not at all. But here in Japan, it's the #1 sport for sure. Definitely the #1. And, you know, I lived almost 7 years in China, and I never once saw a baseball field. In China, table tennis and badminton are #1. And if you're thinking badminton, that's like a family backyard game. If that's what you think, then you don't know how to play badminton. Not real badminton. Not real badminton. Not the way they play it in China. That's some serious crap. Some serious crizap. Alright, boom. Korea munching on something in there. Let's hope you have a big day, mister. Just like they say in Louisiana during Mardi Gras. They say, throw me something, mister. But I want to say, show me something, mister. Judy says they suck. Yes, that's right. That's right. Badminton and table tennis. Who wants to play weak sports like that? Well, they're fun. They're really fun. But, you know, some Chinese, they really take those games way too seriously. So if you're going to play table tennis and badminton in China, you need to make sure that you play with good friends. If you play with your close friends, it's no problem. But when you start playing with other people you don't know, they get really angry because they take it very seriously. They act like it's the freaking World Championships or something. I can't stand playing with people like that, taking the game too seriously. I'm like, dude, look at who you are and where you are. Do you really think that what you do in this game today matters? Playing in a small gym in a small town in a place that nobody knows, and I don't understand people like that. Well, you know, Chris, that's an interesting question. Kind of sad that Americano is weak coffee. But the reason that is because the original coffee, the way coffee was originally made in Italy, is very strong. Basically, it's espresso. And during, I don't know if it was World War I or when it was, but when Americans started drinking the coffee, they started drinking coffee, they preferred to make it weaker. And that became known as Americano. I don't know if you know that history of coffee or not, but dozo. And there you go. Crispy says my comment got deleted. Did I say something bad? Did you put a comment in the chat? I didn't delete anything, Crispy. Actually, I can't imagine ever deleting anything you say. Now, I do have a chat bot, like the night bot, that automatically will block some things, but I think there are some curse words. So if you had a word on that list, then it might have blocked you. But I didn't block you. I don't think I would ever block you, Crispy. You've never said anything offensive. Not that I can remember. Judy says coffee makes me angry and nervous. Hey, Judy, here's a question for you. What makes you angrier? That the Chinese don't play baseball, or coffee? Or Chinese who drink coffee and don't play baseball? Oh, somebody's sending me a message on Facebook. I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no time for looking at that, man. Fromber with his big old towel. Big old towel. Why isn't he warming up right now? Why is he walking around with a towel on his shoulder? I think we should have the first pitch right now, right? That's what I thought. Yeah, Fromber is, yeah, we still got a few more minutes apparently. I started a little early. What was your comment, Crispy, by the way? I'm interested to hear what you had to say. Big old dead octopus hairdo? Something like that. Something like that. Let's see here. Let me move that over. All right. Red Sox are finally coming out. Something we don't get to actually see very often. I guess they show this on Roku. Or maybe it's because it's an early game. I don't know. I don't ever get to see the teams run out of the dugout. The Astros finished warming up, and then they went into the dugout. Then the Red Sox came out. Lucas Giolito is on the mound for the Dirty Sox. I can smell them from here. I can smell those dirty Red Sox from here. He's taking some warm-up tosses right now. Jeremy Pena is back in the lineup. Let's go ahead and go over that right quick. Jeremy Pena at shortstop today, batting first. Altuve batting second in the DH slot. Sanchez batting third in right field. Correa at third base batting cleanup. Walker batting fifth at first base. Yainer Diaz catching today, batting sixth. Taylor Trammell in center field, batting seventh. Mauricio Dubon in left field, batting eighth. And Urias batting ninth at second base. What do you guys think of the lineup today? You're talking about in the live chat, Crispy? Maybe it's a keyword. Maybe it's because of a keyword that's blocked. But yeah, Hector Neris basically balked on purpose. He dropped the ball on purpose to cause a balk, to move the runner over to third, because he accused the base runner of giving the batter the signals. So Neris arbitrarily decided the best thing to do is send the runner to third base. Do we really need a guy like that pitching in relief to move a guy from second base to third base? Do we really want that kind of emotional lack of control? I do not, sir, madam. The Flash is at the plate. There we go. Here comes the first pitch. Fouled off right down the first base side. Strike one. Jeremy Pena batting .326. It feels nice to have somebody back in the lineup batting above 300. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Giolito. Pena hits that down the line to third base. It's going to be playable, and he's thrown out. It feels kind of weird, though, after the game that he had the other day, to see Pena actually get out, doesn't it? And my hero comes to the plate, Jose Altuve. Let's hope he can completely turn it around today. Oh yeah, I remember that. Wrigley Field, back when they had no lights. Now the lights are on, but nobody's home. Ha ha ha. Here comes the first pitch to Altuve. In the dirt. Why did you swing at that one, buddy? Don't swing at that, Altuve. Strike one. 13 extra base hits in the last 25 games. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Right in the top of the zone and fouled off down the third baseline. Well, there's better ways to solve the problem instead of reacting emotionally without thinking. Here's the 0-2 pitch, fouled off, 93 above the zone. Altuve went after it. He didn't have to go after that one. Yeah, prior to 1988, it's funny that they had no lights all the way up until such a late date, right? 0-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Giolito. Outside and in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I seriously doubt that Altuve is always expecting a fastball on the first pitch. He's just expecting it to be hittable. A lot of the time he expects it to be hittable, but then again he swings at a lot of stuff. He fouls that one. I'll speak of swinging. That one's low and outside, and he fouls it away. The count remains 1-2. He's batting .286 for his career against this pitcher. A couple of home runs, a couple of RBIs, a couple of walks. Here comes the 1-2. Whoa, way up there. Elevator went through the roof. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But you know what? Some traditions. Here's the 2-2. 80 up and in, fouled off. Could have been ball 3. Right now, Altuve is like, if it's even 6 or 7 inches within the strike zone, I'm swinging. It's the total opposite of Correa's at bat yesterday, where it's like anywhere near the zone, he wasn't swinging. Here comes the 2-2. He pops this one up. Is that going to be playable? It's over on the left side. Bregman and the catcher are over. They run into each other. Nobody calls it, or they both call it. They look at each other for a second. Altuve's down as the catcher takes it. A little bit of Keystone Cops there. Good job, guys. Way to communicate. Got lucky. They got lucky. Bregman and the catcher didn't communicate. They didn't look too happy about it. Here's the first pitch to the next batter. Sanchez at the plate. That one looked a little outside. So with the ground out by Pena and the foul out by Altuve, that's 2 away. Here comes the next pitch to Sanchez. He hits this one pretty hard out to center field, and the diving catch, he can't get it. It's going to go to the wall. Sanchez is booking around a second. He's going to have second easy. Wow, look at that. Beautiful hit by Sanchez. Rafaela Santana, is that who that is? Rafaela? He dove for it, couldn't quite get it. It was just out of the reach of his glove. There's that lefty bat right there, baby. Carlos Correa comes to the plate with a runner on second. Chatting with the umpire about something. Let's go for sure. Here comes the next pitch. Just below the zone for ball 1. Correa takes the first one. 1-0 with 2 outs. Sanchez on second. Here comes the next pitch to Correa. Ooh, 92 on the inside edge. The count is even 1-1. There's no news. There's no new news on Jordan. His situation has not changed. 1-1 pitch is on the way. This is hit to the right side. It's going to be a difficult play for the second baseman, but he's got it. That would have been a run for sure. Correa almost poked it through that hole on the right side. Couldn't quite get it. Diving play by the second baseman. He takes away a hit from Correa, just barely. We almost had a run. One hit, no runs. We go to the bottom of the first. 0-0. Fromber. Judy, I think it's going to be over 1,500 easy. If you look at the analytics in the data, the prediction is no less than 1,500 and possibly even more than 2,000, depending on what the Astros do in the postseason. But minimal 1,500. That's just what the data shows. Could be a lot higher. I mean, it might blow up a lot higher than that, but that's just that's what it's tracking for, actually. I know I've got 1,000 as my first main goal, but the reason 1,000 subscribers is my main goal is because getting to 1,000 subscribers is kind of like a minimal that you need for your channel to get sponsors. And I'm trying to avoid charging for anything. I've thought before about different ways I can help monetize the channel so that I'm able to keep doing it. That's crazy right there. But since I don't have a lot of members and I don't get very many donations, it costs me a lot more to run the channel than I actually get. And right now I can't afford it. I can't really afford it, so that's why I'm really pushing to get to 1,000. Watch time is really high, views are really high. That's good, but many companies, in order to do a sponsorship or advertisements, they really want you to be over 1,000. For some reason it matters. I don't think it matters at all. I think what matters is the number of views and the watch time. Those are the things that really matter. But they also want to see a channel over 1,000 subscribers. So Rob Refsnyder is the first batter for Fromber. First pitch right in the bottom of the zone. Looked like it could have been a strike, but called ball one. Thanks, Judy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Here's the next pitch. That's in there. 94 miles an hour. 1-1 to Refsnyder. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off at the plate, 1-2. I understand that. Donating plasma just to eat. Here comes the next pitch. 96, too far inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Refsnyder fouls that off. Count remains 2-2. I had a few different ideas come to me recently about ways to help support the channel. One of those was making a $1 membership. Grounded foul down the third base side. Count remains 2-2. So that people could actually watch. They could actually watch the live stream and listen in. But if they want to comment in the live chat, they'd have to be members, and that would cost like 99 cents a month. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Seven pitches already to Refsnyder. Alex Bregman on deck. I get the feeling that the Red Sox crowd don't like Bregman very much. Fouled off of the plate again. That's 8 pitches. 8 pitches and not an out yet. A little bit of a timeout by the batter, but he's back in the box now. Fromber's back up on the rubber. Here comes the toss. He hits that one out into right field for a single, soft single. After a long at-bat with 9 pitches, they have their first hit and a base runner. That one didn't have too much movement on it. Bregman is at the plate. How about a double play ball? That one's on the inside edge for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, another strike on that inside edge. Bregman complaining about it. Is that really a strike? Yeah, it was a strike. You should know better. Here's the 0-2 on the way. He taps that one right back to the mound. No, that's going to be picked up by Yiner. He goes to first base, so the runner goes to second. It didn't quite have the oomph on it to get out to Fromber, but luckily Diaz was able to get on it pretty quick. 1 away, runner on second base. Next batter is Roman Anthony. I certainly hope so, Brendan. Let's get some revenge. Absolutely. First pitch to Anthony is on the way. Woo, 95 right in there. Nice toss. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the toss. Ooh, that's another nice pitch in the bottom of the zone. 78-mile-per-hour changeup. 0-2 is the count. And the batter wants a timeout. Houston, Texas Dave, hello from church. Hello from my temple. Here comes the 0-2. On the inside, fouled off. Count remains 0-2. As soon as the Red Sox start swinging, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. One out, runner on second. 0-2 is the count against Roman Anthony. Here comes a pitch from Valdez. Grounded to first base. Walker takes it himself and is able to make it the play, but the runner goes to third base. 2 outs. Brendan, actually, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm sleepy. I'm tired and sleepy. I did a lot of stuff today. And I'm really sleepy. I really am. But I don't have that kind of headache, hangover thing that you have when you get up too early. I don't like getting up at 2 o'clock to do a 3 o'clock game. Here's a pitch right in there, strike 1 to Romy Gonzalez. If I have a 3 o'clock game, that means I have to try to go to bed early, and hopefully I can sleep, but then I have to get up at 2, and then after the game I try to go back to sleep. It's a really bad schedule. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Gonzalez. Low and inside, ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Coffee is nearby. I don't want to drink too much because after the game I want to go to sleep. Usually it's no problem, but we'll see. Here's the pitch, the 1-1. Ooh, swing and a miss. Nice hack. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runner on third. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. Come on, Valdez. Swing and a miss. 80-mile-per-hour curve, baby. The bottom fell out. He hacked at it and got nothing but air. 1 hit for each team. 0-0. Nobody scores in the first inning. We go to the top of the second. First batter is going to be Christian Walker. Yainer Diaz on deck, followed by the Tram in the hole. The Tram is in the hole. Hopefully it comes out. Hey, old dog. Welcome in. I don't know if you got my or if you heard my message earlier in the live stream, if you were listening in, but I got the coffee. Yes, that's right. I said earlier in the live stream, I didn't know if you were listening in, but the coffee you sent me yesterday, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Old dog bought me a coffee. He's bought me several coffees, actually. Very considerate. Thank you so much. It's interesting because even just a $5 donation in Japanese yen, it's actually more. You know, the dollar is stronger right now than the yen. So instead of just getting like a coffee at Starbucks, $5 can actually buy a complete breakfast with a drink bar at the cafe. So very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, Tommy wants swingy. You're right, Jay. I didn't put that up there, but you're right. I can put it up there for you. Tommy Likey. Tommy wants swingy on that Framber Valdez strikeout. You guys are gonna have to forgive me if I'm a little slow tonight. It is 3 minutes to 1 in the morning. I haven't slept. I'm gonna be up until this game is done, and then I am going to crash on my bed. Go Framber. Christian Walker comes to the plate. Let's see what kind of dish Giolito can serve up for him. Here comes the first toss. Low and outside. Ball 1. Chris says I still wake up. Not just my nurses poking me. Here's the next pitch. This is hit hard to left field. Is it going to be no, it's going to be short. I thought Walker had himself another home run. He drove it all the way out to the warning track. I thought, no way. Are you kidding me? Another home run, but it died right at the warning track. Chris says somebody to come up with a random hospital sounds loop to aid newly released patients. Interesting. Yeah, more likes is always welcome. 1 away. Here comes the first pitch to Diaz in the dirt. Ball 1. Good take. Don't swing at that crap, Diaz. I live in Hiroshima, Japan. Here's the pitch. Diaz hits this one to third. That's fair. Barely down the line. He makes the long throw. They say they get him at first base. Nice play by Bregman. Diaz hustled down the line, but he's not quite fast enough to beat that out. Man, that ball, if it hadn't been a bouncer, it would have made it through. Anybody else but Yainer. Pena would have beaten that. Cam Smith would have beaten that. Maybe Correa would have beaten that. 2 away. The Tram is at the plate. Outside, way outside. Ball 1. It's been too long since I've seen a Taylor Trammell homer. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Right in there. 92 in the bottom of the zone. 1-1. Nope. Got no AC in this house, Judy. Don't need it though. Here comes the next pitch. 92, just above the zone. He doesn't swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. At night, right now, even during the summertime, it typically gets down to about 65 degrees. It usually always gets under 70 degrees at night. Here's a pitch. Below the zone, 3-1. Because the temperature drops so much at night, I can use the fans to pull in the cold air, the cool air, and then in the morning when the sun starts to come up, I can close those windows, close those fans, and the coolness stays in the house. That's high. Ball 4. Taylor Trammell with an excellent at bat there. 5-pitch walk. Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate with the tram chugging down to the first stop on his way around the line. Dubon, our 8th batter in the lineup, comes to the plate. Got the cool looking shades on. Here comes the first pitch. Low and away, another ball from Giolito. He seems to have some control issues right now. 1-0. I know that some people will miss Ozzy. I mean, I don't like to see anybody pass away, but I've completely changed the music that I listen to. I don't listen to I know it sounds strange, but I don't listen to any music that I don't make anymore. It's just because I can control the words, the lyrics, you know. 2 balls and no strikes. This is grounded to third. Alex Bregman goes to first base to get the out. That's 2 away. No, that's 3. I'm sorry, that's out number 3. My bad. That's it for the Astros in this inning. So a walk by Taylor Trammell, but it turns into nothing. A couple of ground outs to Alex Bregman, and that's going to be it for the Astros. In the top of the second, we go to the bottom of the second. 1 hit for each. 0 runs, 0 errors. Let's see here. Oh yeah, of course. It's impossible to live in Houston without air conditioning. Yeah, you're right. In some places, because of the climate, they can build the house a certain way, and then you don't need air conditioning. Maybe just fan. It's the same thing in Japan. A lot of people talk about, oh, Japan is really hot and humid. Well, it depends on where you are. You know, so that's one of the things I've realized living abroad now. I've been living abroad for 12 and a half years, and it seems like no matter where I go, I'm hesitant to use the word stupid because it's not a positive word to be using. But I guess you could say unthinking. People say some unthinking things sometimes. Like, for example, they'll say, "Is it hot in America?" Is it hot in America? You mean like in Alaska? Or Hawaii? Or Florida? Louisiana? Texas? Maine? I mean, where exactly are you talking about? Because the answer, it depends on the time of year and the location. You can't say, oh yeah, it's hot in America. But they'll say the same thing about Japan, right? It's like during July and August, they'll say, wow, Japan sure is hot, isn't it? And I think, really? In Hokkaido? It's not hot in Hokkaido. Hokkaido's way up north, northeast Japan. It's not hot up there. And then they'll say, oh yeah, well, I mean, you know, in other parts of Japan. Well, in some parts, but not all. Not all parts of Japan are hot. And time of season, you know. It's funny how many people say that. In China and Japan, a lot of people, and sometimes foreigners will say that, but usually it's Asian people. I don't know why they say that. I still haven't figured that one out. Why do Asian people say that? Is it hot in America? 79, low and inside. Ball 1 to Trevor Story. Hey, Fox at Bat, welcome back. Good to see ya. Good day to you. Here comes the 1-0 pitch outside, 2-0. Mr. Page, good morning to you. No problem. I hope it's not an all-nighter. I just hope it's a part-nighter. They can rally behind Fromber and win it at 9. I'll be happy about that. 92 right in the zone, fouled off. 2 balls and 1 strike. It is 1:05 a.m. here. I'm hoping that the game will be done by 3:30 a.m. and then I can pass out and sleep until basically lunchtime. That's my plan. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Story hits that one to the right side, and that's going to be through for a hit. Right past the diving glove of Walker. Second hit for the Red Sox, and they've got their first, or leadoff runner on, rather. Not their first runner. Walker was almost there. Missed it by just a few inches. Horseshoes and hand grenades. You're right, Jordan. And it also depends on how they score. I mean, several home runs. It could be a high-scoring game and still be pretty quick. A bunt, and that goes foul down the first baseline. A little bit of a surprise bunt down the first baseline, but strike 1. Yeah, Jay, I can tell you some very interesting things you probably have never heard about Hiroshima, things that I never learned until I came here and people started talking to me. And I don't mean just Japanese, I mean local Japanese, Hiroshima people. Swing and a miss by Rafaela. The count is 0-2. No outs, runner on first. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He taps this one to the left side. Correa's going to have to play it fast. Does he get him? He's safe. Infield hit. Runners on first and second with no outs. Some Hiroshima people feel like there's too much stress put on them here in the school system. Too much stress put on the kids. Too much stress put on the people to be the city of peace. They're always talking... They're always pushing peace, 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 the city of peace, constantly. Even in the curriculum, when you go into the schools, they put it all in the curriculum. But you don't see it in other Japanese cities. You only see it in Nagasaki and in Hiroshima. So some local people don't like that. 93 right in the middle of the plate. He misses the bunt attempt. Abraham Toro at the plate, strike 1. Yeah, he almost got it. Just barely missed. I sure hope so, old dog. You're here today. Maybe the Red Sox are on dialysis today. He pulls back on that bunt attempt, and the ball's in the dirt, 1-1. Good stop by Diaz. Runners stay on first and second. The count is 1-1. I haven't said anything about liking the live stream, but I appreciate you guys and gals doing that. You've already been hooking me up, but I think we can add a few more, can't we? Thank you so much. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Ball 2. 2-1. Yep. Yeah, we got a little bit of a jam going on, don't we, DeLion? Fromber is in a little bit of an old-timey jam. Here's the pitch. Woo, that was a gimme. Up and inside. Could have gone either way, I guess. I don't want to see those highlights. They're showing all these home runs that they hit off of Colton Gordon. Don't show me that garbage. I want to see that. Get that out of here. Next pitch is just a little inside. Full count. Abraham Toro at the plate. No outs. Runner on first and second. Runners on first and second. Fromber steps off the mound for a moment. Here comes the full count pitch. Toro swings and hits it down the line. Correa grabs it and steps on third base just in time to get the lead runner. One away. That was ripped. Excellent D right there by Correa. What a good play. Look at that catch. And then a quick play to get over there and just barely touch the bag in time. Good D by Correa right there. Definitely not easy. Base runner almost slid right into Correa. We don't need our new guy to be injured. Runners remain on first and second, but now we have one out. Wilyer Abreu comes to the plate. It's a little lefty on lefty action. They're wearing the orange today, so I got the orange on. I'm representing Fromber's favorite color. What he thinks is his lucky color. This is grounded up the middle. No problem. Might be a double play. Pena gets it. How about that? Unassisted double play. Right through the legs of Fromber. And right into the glove of Pena, who steps on second and fires it to first base. Boom, baby. Money. How do you like that? That is what you call Framburglar. You got Framburgled, baby. You got Framburgled. You got Framburgled. That's right. The uniforms that we're in today are the really bright orange, uniforms, Chris. Not the rainbow uniforms today. It's the bright orange ones that Fromber Valdez really likes to wear when he's pitching. Pete McDevitt. Yes, I know this name. Don't watch him, but let's see here. Anything else? Yeah, I like them apples too. I expanded on that saying a long time ago. I'd say, you like them apples? You want to climb that tree? Pick one. It's worth climbing. If you like them apples, it's worth climbing the tree for. Break out the ladder. I've actually got an orchard or a tree ladder out there, but here in Japan, it's not really used so much for orchards. It's used for trimming the trees. It looks kind of like a pyramid style ladder, and it's got one leg on the other side, so it's kind of like a tripod in a way. And they use it for getting up and trimming the trees. If you have, it's typical Japanese garden style stuff, right? Where they manicure the trees and make it look all nice and stuff. That's what they use those for. I've got one of those out in my storage shed. Came with the house. Put that jam on some Boston toast. Heck yeah, with some Boston baked beans on the side. Did you guys and gals ever eat the candies, the peanuts? They're called Boston baked beans, but they're like candied peanuts. Here comes the next pitch to Urias. Oh man, they're gonna do this. They're doing a live chat this inning with a Red Sox player. I can't see the data on the screen. It's a 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Urias at the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. We'll see, Chris. We'll see. We'll see if Fromber can go for a long time today. Check swing goes down the first base side, barely foul. Urias got lucky there. Oh, thanks, Philip. Here comes a pitch. Outside. Full count. 3-2 to Urias. If we can get him on base, we got the top of the batting order coming up. No, there's no way that Fromber's going to go 9 innings. If he can get through 7, I'll be happy with that. Really happy. Here's the pitch. This is hit high in the air. Is that going to be playable? It looks like it. The catcher's having trouble locating it, but he's got it. Another foul out in foul territory handled by the catcher. Urias goes down on the 3-2 count. Philip, are you talking about the one on my wall back there? Swing and a miss by Pena. Strike 1. Correa came to the plate earlier, and he was not able to get a hit, but he did have a hit yesterday. 0-1 is the count to Pena. Here comes the toss. Low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's a lot more than 13 likes. It's 35 right now. Here comes the pitch. 90 in the top of the zone, fouled off. The count is 1-2 to Pena. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off down the first base side. The count remains 1-2. One out, nobody on here in the top of the third. The score is 0-0. Here comes a 1-2 to Pena. On the inside edge, strike 3. He takes it 93 miles an hour. If it's close, you got to swing. Can't take that, number 3. Look at that. Yeah, that was a strike. You got to swing at that, my friend. Jose Altuve comes to the plate with 2 outs. Please, Altuve, just one time in this series, put one over the Green Monster. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. You easily can. Here's a pitch. Right in there, 82 miles an hour. Strike 1. Yeah, that was a pretty bad interview, DeLion. I wonder if he was messing around, though. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Maybe he just wanted to make the money but didn't want to actually talk to them. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, his delivery is kind of strange, right? He doesn't open himself up. He keeps his arms in, doesn't he? Here comes the next pitch. Outside, another good take by Altuve. 2-1. Here comes the pitch. Hit high in the air. That's probably going to be an infield fly out. Story is underneath it. And he puts it away for out number 3. Giolito. How many pitches? 42 pitches. And 24 strikes. Fromber with 34 pitches and 26 strikes. Fromber's pitch count is pretty good right now. 34. Oh wait, no wait, my bad. My bad. It's a little high, a little high. Bottom of the third coming up. He's averaged 17 per inning, but 9 of those came to 1 batter. 9 of those pitches. Without looking it up, how tall is the green monster? I heard a long time ago, but I honestly can't remember. Can't remember. Yeah, it looks like it's turning out to be, Philip. Small ball game. Maybe we can work the count and get a walk, and then bunt him over. We'll see. Bottom of the third coming up in just a moment. Fromber is back on the mound. His warm-up tosses are finished. Connor Wong is at the plate. How many games has he played? He's batting 165 for the season. Here comes the first pitch to Wong. Right in there, 94 miles an hour for the strike. 0-1. Oh and 1 pitch from Valdez on the way. Fouled off. 0-2. Seems we have closer and closer to 100 people on the live stream, but only 38 likes. If you appreciate the live stream, make sure you like the live stream. Give it a thumbs up. A ye old thumbs up. I appreciate it. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fouled away, and it stays 0-2. Jay, if you want to hear some of the music I've made, then actually I did start a channel on YouTube where I started putting some of that music up, but I've just been too busy to update it. I think it only has like about 5 or 6 songs on it, but if you're interested in that, I can share it with you. I've got a lot of other songs I need to post, but I want to make videos for. 80 miles an hour on the outside edge, fouled away. Count remains 0-2. Best record in baseball since June 28th. Red Sox are at the top. In the dirt. Ball 1. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just hit down the right side, but snatched up. No problem. Out number 1. Ground out to second base. 1 up and 1 down. Top of the batting order is up now with Ref Snyder. The Red Sox DH for the day. Here comes the first pitch to Ref Snyder. Grounded up the middle. This is backhanded. Urias gets it, fires it over. Second ground out to second base. 2 solid plays by Urias. That one a little bit more difficult and challenging than the last one. Alex Bregman comes to the plate. Oh for 1 today. With the ground out to third. Here's the pitch. This one's hit high in the air. Man, if I had $1 for every time I saw Bregman pop out to the infield, I'm sure I'd have a couple $100, and that's no joke. Yeah, it is kind of strange, right, Philip? Feels a little weird. Can you imagine Jordan leading off in the #1 spot? It doesn't make any sense. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Grounded to the third base side again. Correa scoops it up, no problem. Fires over. Good, solid throw. 3 up and 3 down. 3 ground balls. 3 outs. Nothing doing there. The Red Sox with 3 hits and 0 runs. The Astros with 1 hit and 0 runs. So the Astros are doing better than the Red Sox right now. This is my math, okay? This is my math. Both teams goose eggs, right? The Red Sox have 3 runs. 3 hits. The Astros only have 1 hit. That means that the Astros are doing better. Why is that? Because their hit to run ratio is better. Oh, man. That's the way I look at it. Let's see here. Yeah, living in the end. Yeah, this is just a hobby channel. Jay, if you're interested, this is just a hobby channel where I post some music. But if you're interested in it, you can take a look. How many videos have I posted? 6, 7, 8. It's more than I thought. 8 videos. But typically, I write all my lyrics. Now, sometimes I'll make what's called a mantra song, a song that's just meant to be like a meditation. And I'll use the AI to help me make that, because writing a song like that, it takes so much time. It's so much easier to just give the ChatGPT some guidelines and say what I want in the song, and then after it gives me the outline, then I go back and I put it into a document and I rewrite the whole thing. But you could say that 95% of my songs I just write 100% myself. You know, this game we're going to win it because we got to win it. If we don't win it, we're going to get torn up by our fans. That's right, Espada. That's right. Sanchez at the plate. 83 in the bottom of the zone. Strike 1. Come on, Jesus. Judy, I have no idea what you're talking about. 93 fouled off. Explain to me what valid music is. Tell me what valid music is. I want to know what valid music is. Because, for example, Ozzy Osbourne, I will never again listen to Ozzy Osbourne. I will never again listen to a lot of bands, a lot of singers. Never again. A lot of the bands that I used to listen to all the time, I will never again listen to. Never. 0-2 is the count. Here comes a pitch to Sanchez. Way high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 37 feet tall, the Green Monster. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. He's going to sit down. That's strike 3. Sanchez goes down looking. Right in the bottom of the zone. A little low, but not too far off. Can't let it go if you got 2 strikes. Can't let that go. Whoa, way up and in. Correa pulls back for ball 1. Hey, this is hit really hard all the way out to the Green Monster. It might be a 40 feet high. It is. How about that? Carlos Correa with a homer, baby. Yeah, take that, Bregman. Bregman didn't look too satisfied about that. First home run back with the Astros. Mr. Correa getting some production. Astros are leading 1-0 now. All right, 1-0. A one-out homer. That brings up Christian Walker. Well, Judy, your opinion about the human, not AI, is your opinion. It's not fact. It's just your opinion. But you don't understand why I use AI to make music. I think that's the better question. Correa's homer right down the middle. Just killed it. Right into the back of that back row. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Walker. He fouls it off for 0-2. Why no more Ozzy? That's an easy question. Because his music is negative. That's why I make my music. What am I supposed to do? Pay thousands of dollars to get real people to make my music? People are real quick to bash AI or people for using AI for art or editing or for songs or whatever. But I think it depends on the situation. What about people who don't have any money and they want to make something? That one hits. That one, man, that was a nice tag by Walker, way out into left field. But he came around too early. The count remains 1-2. Here's the pitch. Judy, are you wanting to go in timeout or something? Or it feels like you're wanting me to put you in timeout. You could just ask me to put you in timeout and I'll do that. Walker hits that out to right field. It should be a fly out. Second baseman goes out and takes it for a second out. That's going to bring up Yainer Diaz. 2 away. Yeah. Yeah, well, Chrissy, you never know about those things, whether they're here or not. Of course, people speculated for decades about Elvis whenever he died. Everybody famous is like that, right? Here's the first pitch to Diaz. He grounds that one to the shortstop, who fires over to first. Wow, terrible throw. But they say he stayed on the bag, so that's out number 3. But with Correa's home run, we have 1 run on the board and the lead. 1-0. Correa, arigato gozaimashita. Otsukare-sama deshita. Thank you for your hard work. Judy, with all due respect, you literally have no idea where I'm at in my life and what I mean by negative music. To you, he's not negative. But you don't exist in the same reality that I do. Everybody is either slightly different or very, very different or somewhere in between. And I've made some major changes in my life. And that's what happens when you get cancer. When you get cancer and you're told that you're going to die in a couple of years, you start thinking a little more deeply about the things that you do. And not just the things that you eat, but primarily what I've been thinking about is the things that I dwell on, the things that I think, the things that I say, the things that I listen to, the things that I put in my head. And I don't want those things in my head anymore. I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy the songs. They sound catchy. They sound good. I was a really big fan of a lot of 90s bands. I loved, like Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots, Candlebox. Even listened to Pearl Jam sometimes. I even got into Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden. You know, all those guys. I loved Queensryche, or they are just awesome. But the issue that I have with those bands now in my life, where I'm at, not where you're at, where I'm at, it's the same for all those bands, which is I didn't write their lyrics, and when you look at the lyrics, they're putting things in my head. By me listening to it, they're putting things in my head that I don't want in my head anymore. And that's what I mean when I say that they're negative. Now, whether you see that or agree, it doesn't really matter. You can believe whatever you want, and you should believe whatever you want. I'm just saying that's where I'm at. That's why I write my own stuff. I control the lyrics. Even sometimes, like what Crispy says, he says I do photography for a hobby, and I use AI to edit photos the way I want to sometimes. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Now, if somebody says, oh, I did these photographs, but it's 100% AI, then I have a problem with that, because that's being dishonest. But what Crispy says, I back 100%. I'm being open and honest. I didn't take credit for making the songs, right? First pitch is fouled off for strike one to Roman Anthony. It feels nice to put on my headphones and listen to stuff with messages that are just what I want to put in my head. You know what I'm saying? Here comes the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, 1-1. You're right, Philip. I think Judy needs 10 minutes of timeout. Congratulations, Judy's in timeout. You've been asking for it. You deserve it. Go sit in the corner. Think about what you've done. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. In the dirt and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. That one was way out there. Yeah, nothing but positive vibes, Texas Dave. Just believe. Believe. 2 balls and 1 strike to Anthony. Here's the pitch. Hit high in the air out to left center field, all the way out to the wall at the track. Did he make the catch? No, it's off the wall. Tram misses it. Dubon grabbed it. Tram went for it and missed it. Dubon got it off the wall and brought it in, but that's going to be a double for Anthony off the wall. Let's take another look at that. Oh, man, right over the glove of Tram. Look how close. It was just about 3 inches over his glove there. So close. First pitch is off the plate. Ball 1 to Romy Gonzalez. Red Sox with a leadoff runner on second. Bottom of the 4th. Come on now, Fromber. Shut it down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice. 90 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone. 1-1 is the pitch. Yeah, if people are going to... I mean, you don't come in here being negative and insulting anybody, much less the person running the channel. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Don't insult the live streamer. It's like the #1 thing you do not do. Some people just sometimes get a hair. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch to Gonzalez. Outside, 3-1. Fromber messing around a little bit. Yeah, well, Chris, you can go look at anybody's lyrics. Even Taylor Swift, her stuff is also really negative. People might say, no, her stuff's not. But seriously, though, go look at it. Really, go look at it. You'll see. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Ooh, way inside. Ball 4. Runners on first and second with no outs, but at least we have the triple and double play on the table now. I'm still waiting to see that triple play, guys and gals. I want to see that triple play. Drambam, you're right. Not all kids, but some of them. Little meeting on the mound right now. The umpire's on his way out to kind of break up. Time to go, guys. All right, let's get her done. Trevor Story at the plate, 1 for 1 today. 1 for 1 today with a hit. Runners on first and second with no outs. Let's see if we can get the Fromber special. A triple play or a double play. Yeah, they got the normal jerseys on. Maybe we can beat them now that their jerseys aren't killing our eyes. That's hit out to right field. That's going to get down. They're going to wave him in. Is he going to score? Sanchez goes home, but it's too late. Game's tied. As soon as the Astros get the lead, they give it up. Runners on the corners now. No, he went to second on that throw to home plate. Sanchez threw it home, and he was able to make it a second base, so Story gets a double out of that, which should have been a single. Yeah, Sanchez acted like he was going to throw it to second, but then he went home. That was strange. But because he went home, now we have runners on second and third with no outs. Next batter is Rafaela. Cedon Rafaela. Ben Fuller. Mr. Page, I just saw your comments. That's funny. Here's a pitch. Fouled off. 0-2 is the count. Valdez looking for his first out of the inning. Page says Ozzy hasn't been relevant for 3 decades. Don't care what anybody thinks about him. Might as well talk about Kiss. Yeah. Correa hits a homer and we're talking about Ozzy. Yeah, I don't have anything against him, but I don't care at the same time, you know. Here's a pitch. This is hit hard, a line drive shot to left field. That's going to score at least 1. They hold Story at third base. 2-1. So just like that, the Red Sox are up. Astros finally get a run on the board and turn right around and give it up. 2 runs off of Fromber now. Six hits now for the Red Sox. No outs, guys. Runners on the corners. Abraham Toro at the plate. Double play, maybe? Valdez goes over to first base. Rafaela goes back. Not a serious throw. Here comes the next pitch. Just below the zone. What in the world's going on there? Oh my gosh, they just called a balk on Fromber Valdez. So the runner will go to second and a runner will score. 3-1 Red Sox. Pitching coach is going to come out. Josh Miller. Not sure what the balk was. Okay. It's because he didn't come set. Whenever he came to his set position, He didn't stay long enough. He just kind of bounced and then threw the ball too quickly. So, no outs. Red Sox have 3 runs on the board. 2 by hit, 1 by balk. Runner on second. Little strange. Here comes the next pitch. Toro is at the plate. That one is low for ball 2, 2-0. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's a wild pitch. Rafaela goes all the way over to third. He's thinking about coming home, but he stops. Wild pitch. Runner on third. 3 balls and no strikes. Fromber is just melting down right now, it looks like. Just suddenly everything's getting out of hand. 3 balls and no strikes to Toro. Here's the next pitch from Fromber. Fouled off, flowing inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three balls and 1 strike to Abraham Toro. Here is the toss. Right in there. It's bounced down the third base side. Fromber grabs it, but there's no play. Toro gets an infield hit. We have runners on the corners with no outs. 5 straight players have made it on base. Red Sox got some lucky hits, very soft hits. Just happened to be in the right spot. Astros not getting those same lucky breaks. Wilyer Abreu at the plate. If we could keep the guy on third and get a double play, that certainly would be nice. Well, Fromber hasn't been bad today. He's been out of sorts this inning, but he hasn't been out of sorts for the day. Here's a pitch. Little bunt right up the middle. And it gets right past Fromber under his glove. That's going to score another run, and runners are safe at first and second. No kidding. A bunt right up the middle and right under Fromber's glove. It's 4-1. All he had to do was scoop it up and go home. Easy bunt right up the middle. Look at this. Oh, they didn't show it from that angle. They're giving an error to Valdez for that one. Mr. Antonio. Yeah, this inning right here could put you in a bad mood, I think. Runners on first and second, still no outs. 95 above the zone, ball 1. Bad luck doesn't always make Fromber frustrated, just sometimes. He's been really good this year about not getting out of control. This is the first time he's gotten a little frustrated. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Another wild pitch. Runners move up to second and third. That should be a passed ball, not a wild pitch. Yeah, that's gonna be booked as a passed ball. Diaz's fault not catching that one. That was not on Fromber, that was Diaz. Here's the pitch. Hit high in the air. That's gonna score another run. It's catchable. It's gonna be a tag. Sanchez is under it. He brings it in, but that will be run number 5. Runners on second and third both tag. 5-1. 1 out, runner on third. Man, Framber Valdez has given up 5 runs in 1 inning. Bennett Sousa is now warming up in the bullpen. Next batter is Connor Wong. Here's the pitch. 90 miles an hour, fouled off. Well, you know, the Astros defense is normally completely locked down. But Framber Valdez has never been known for his defense, like his fielding. No, never. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Soft ground ball to second base. Another run will score. 6-1. Out number 2. No runners on. But another run scores on the fielder's choice. Don't be mad. Don't worry, be happy. All is good. Here comes the first pitch to the next batter. Alex Bregman, strike 1. 9 batters this inning. 6 runs this inning. Here is the pitch to Bregman. Too far inside, 1-1. Here's the pitch. Fouled off for strike 2, 1-2. Guys, if you come into the chat and start dumping on the Astros like that, I'm putting you in timeout. I don't want to see those kind of comments. Line drive to right field. Sanchez makes the running catch, and that's out number 3. Bregman goes down with the line out. Framber up to 70 pitches. And guess what? They're playing Ozzy Osbourne Crazy Train. That's funny. That is hilarious. Framber Valdez with a really nice inning right there. Framber Valdez issuing the challenge, laying down the gauntlet for the Astros bats. 6-1. So we've got a 5-run deficit to overcome just to tie this game up. Challenge accepted. It's all good, guys and gals. You know, seriously though, I don't see any reason to get upset about it. But Framber has been so solid for a long time. And every pitcher, no matter how good they are, is entitled to having bad games. That's baseball. If a person can't understand that and just accept it for what it is, they shouldn't watch baseball. It kind of reminds me of my friend Wes that I used to play golf with. I love Wes. He's a great guy. He really is. But whenever we play golf together, it's supposed to be relaxing, right? I mean, golf is supposed to be relaxing. But every time we'd go golfing, he would hit the ground with his club. He would yell. One time he actually threw his club and we had a hard time getting it back. Sometimes he would get out. I learned very early that you can't mess with him at all. Like, to me, we're just out there relaxing. It's not serious, you know. It's not the PGA Tour or anything. We're just relaxing. And he gets his ball, he gets his tee, and he's walking up to the box. And I say, "Show us the way, Wes," you know. And then he He doesn't say anything. He just puts his tee down. He puts his ball on the tee, and then he has a really bad drive. And then when he comes back to the cart, he's like, dude, don't say that crap to me. He gets really upset about it, really angry about it. But nothing I said had anything to do with the way he performed. That's an inner thing, you know. Trammell is at the plate, takes the first pitch for strike one. The second pitch is too far inside. Almost hits him on the leg. 1 ball, 1 strike. Isn't this life too short to be getting really upset about stuff like this? It's just a game. Here's the pitch. Ooh, 93, right in there, swing and a miss. He tried to go after it. Yes, anger management. Anger management. Calm down, right? 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Tram. Outside and high. 2-2 is the count to the Tram. Oh, man. Learn to be happy in any situation. That's the challenge. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back. The count remains 2-2. Well, Dram Bam, I don't know anybody personally that I can trust to be a mod. Having a moderator or two would be nice. But here's the pitch. Hit high in the air on the infield. First baseman seems to have it, and he does. That's out number 1. Trammell fouls out to the first base side. Mauricio Dubon comes up next. I appreciate the offer, Dram Bam. Right now I'm good. I appointed somebody a moderator before, but it wasn't really working out for me. So I just decided to do away with all moderators for now. That's in there for strike 1. Giolito up to 63 pitches now. Here comes the next toss to Dubon. Doobie swings and misses that pitch on the outside edge. 0-2 is the count. Here's the next toss. And the top of the zone, fouled back and luckily out of play. Count remains 0-2. Yeah, you're right, Crispy. Right now the Red Sox are hot. They've got the best record since June, I believe. Here's the pitch. Way high. He holds up, and that's ball 1, 1-2. Yeah, Diaz was a little off there, man. It was just a kind of a breakdown inning. It was a freak inning. That's not something you see. Strike 3. Doobie goes down. 2 outs. Ramon Urias comes to the plate. This was that last pitch to Doobie. Up and in. Couldn't get the bat on it. Here comes the first pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. But the ump lays off. Ball 1. Arias has 1 foul out today. Let's see if he can make this game a little closer here. Here's the pitch. He fouls it back. 86 miles an hour. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Urias fouls that one down the third baseline. 1-2 is the count. Still got plenty of baseball left. Even if we get nothing this inning. This is just halfway through the game. No big deal. If they can score 6, we can score 6. No big deal. Here's the pitch. This is hit out into center field. Looks like it's going to be out number 3. He's right underneath it, and it is. 3 up and 3 down for Giolito. .70 pitches. Isn't that interesting? Valdez and Giolito at 70 pitches. But Valdez actually has more strikes. He's pitched 50. 50 of his 70 pitches are strikes. That's not bad at all. Giolito, 45 of 70 are strikes. Morning to you, Braden. Go Astros indeed. I hope we go. Make that score go up, 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 up. This is actually what I was saying the other day in the live chat when I was watching one of the other podcasts. As soon as the Astros start giving up runs, or as soon as a pitcher starts having a bad day, or they're not scoring runs, I mean, it happens so fast. People who claim to be Astros fans, and it's not just Astros fans, there are other fans that do this. You know, they say, I'm a fan of the Astros, or I'm a fan of the Stankies, or I'm a fan of the Red Sox, or whatever. But as soon as the other team scores, oh my God, here we go again. This game is over. We're never going to get into the playoffs. Not with this team. Blah, 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 blah. Wah, wah, wah. Stop watching baseball. Go fix your life. Fix what's inside. And then these things won't bother you so much. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be honest. When I first started doing the live streams, you can probably go back. I still have videos from last year. If you go back and you look at my videos from last year where the Astros lost, the games that they lost, and they played really poorly, I guarantee you, you're going to see a lot of negativity and a lot of frustration and annoyance in me and what I was saying, what I was doing. Absolutely, for sure. Because the way I was looking at life and the way I was feeling about things in my life was completely different compared to the way it is now. Valdez is back on the mound. Here's the first pitch to Roman Anthony. 94 right in there. 0-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. A little low and outside. Ball 1. 96 miles an hour. Fromber throwing some heat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, nice. 95 right in the bottom of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Roman Anthony. Yeah, it was nice to see that homer, Dram Bam. I gotta say that even if the Astros are down, I still felt really nice about seeing that blast. That was awesome. Yeah, DeLion, that's right. It was just a freak inning, that's all. It was a freak inning. This is bounced up the middle. Looks like it's going to be playable by Pena. Out number 1. Bounced right over Fromber's head. Luckily, he was not able to get to it because it went straight to the flash. Yeah, Drambaum, luckily I am the host of this channel, so I have control over limiting that kind of stuff. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Romy Gonzalez. Here's a pitch. Wow, generous by the umpire there. That was about 3 inches below the zone. He calls strike 2. That was a gimme. Maybe he's trying to make up for that umpire we had the other day. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Look at that. A 3-pitch strikeout. Fromber comes right back. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Tommy Likey. Tommy wants swingy. You get it, Tommy. You get it that time. Next batter at the plate, Trevor Story, low and inside, ball 1. Fromber's moving really, really quickly right now. He's up to 78 pitches. 1-0 to Story with 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes the next pitch. Just a little outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Charlie, no problem. Let's just be constructive. That's all I ask. Criticism is okay. Let's just be constructive and respectful. That's all. Foul to the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to Trevor Story. You can't get Roku? Oh, your mom's family doesn't have it. Okay, I see, Braden. I see. Though, thanks for coming in. 91 miles an hour, swing and a miss. Good toss. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Story calls timeout. He wants a little extra breathing time here. Fromber is moving pretty quick right now. Yeah, Braden, your dad is right. Your dad's right about that. Why even watch baseball if you're just going to criticize him? He's right. Fouls it off. Count remains 2-2. Hey, Raina, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yes, Fred, 100%. Thank you, Fred. Thank you for saying that. Fred Villarreal says that Fromber has been so good this year. We take it for granted. He can do this every game. Spot on. Just be thankful for what he has done for us so far. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. Speaking of what can Fromber do for you, Tommy likey. Tommy want another swingy, and Tommy gets another swingy. Fromber came back and just owned that inning. 1, 2, 3. He was pitching with authority there. See, that's what I'm telling you guys. Last inning was a freak show. It was not customary. I know that anybody who's been watching the Astros for the past couple of years is very familiar with the breakdowns that Fromber Valdez used to have. But this year, compared to last year and this year, it's night and day. It absolutely is night and day. How do I know that? Because I have called 99% of the games. I've seen almost every single game this year. And I've watched him improve a lot in that category. So I'm not going to let anybody tell me that Fromber breaks down. Fromber freaks out. Fromber loses his cool. Actually, considering how badly things went in the last inning, he didn't freak out. And look what he did this inning. He came right back out there, and he pitched 3 up and 3 down. He had one crazy inning. Yeah, it would. I think we can still get another inning out of him. I think we can get one more. Yep, it's a long season. It's a long, long season. We still got a lot of baseball left. Can't win them all. We're still in first place. You know, we're still in first place. Okay, you got it on your phone. Okay, I see. I was wondering about that. I thought, don't you have an app? I meant to ask that earlier, but you answered my question before I could remember to ask it. But I guess it's more fun to watch it on a tablet, on a computer, or on a TV, right? You mean a Chromebook, like a laptop? Google Chrome is just the browser. Jeremy Pena at the plate. Here's the first pitch. He hits that one right back to the pitcher on the very first toss. Out number 1. He doesn't miss it like Fromber did. Jose Altuve coming to the plate in just a moment. Jeremy Pena is over 3 today. He's doing the opposite of what he did in the first game. some very weak boos for Altuve. I guess they're so lazy. They're just too lazy to be booing Altuve right now. Here comes the first pitch. He hits this one out to left field. It's going to drop for a hit. Yeah. Take that, you freaking dirty Red Sox fans. Yeah. Just drop that right over the shortstop's head. Perfect. Perfect. That's right. Snap, baby. The Altuve snap. Jesus Sanchez has a double today. He strolls up to the plate with Altuve on first and one out. Here's the next pitch, the first pitch, rather, to Sanchez from Giolito. Fouled off for strike one. Go Tuve. Let's go, 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 go. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the lob. Woo! Fly ball straight to the right fielder. Out number 2. Altuve stays at first base. He had a rip on it, but he didn't get it on the fat part of the bat. Kind of died. Correa at the plate again. Has the Astros only hit for an RBI today with that homer. 411 feet over the Green Monster. 0-1 after that pitch. Taken for strike one. Altuve at first base with 2 outs. Ground ball to third. It's going to be scooped up by Bregman, and he'll get the force out at second base for out number 3. Nothing doing in the top of the 6th. Astros just down by 5 runs going into the bottom of the 6th. How many hits do we have here? 7 versus 3. 7 hits for the Red Sox, 3 for the Astros. Oddly enough, only 1 error charged to the Astros, and that would be the ball that went under Fromber's glove. That little grounder that went right back to the mound. Yeah, Braden, I can only add emotes as I get more members. As I get more members who are joining my channel, these are paid members. As that increases, I can add more emotes. Right now, I'm at my maximum. But eventually, I'll add a Correa emote. My Correa pick is Carlos' rookie pick. Which pick are you talking about? Are you talking about the one on the screen in the batting section? If you're talking about the picture in the batting section, I don't choose that. That comes from the MLB API website. That comes straight from MLB. So they're the ones that choose that, not me. It automatically comes up on the screen. It doesn't have anything to do with me. Once again, I used AI. I know that's going to make some people go, "Rah!" I used AI to help me build the HTML and the code for my main layout here. It helped me to create a server that I run locally here on my computer, and I connect that to the API, the MLB API. It also connects to another API on another website, so that all of the data for the game in real time, as soon as it's updated, it can be updated on my screen. I don't have to do any of that. I used to do all of that stuff manually. All of it. For those of you who've been with my channel for a while, you'll remember that in the beginning, all of the information on the screen was done by me manually. Way too much work. Here is the 1-0 pitch from Fromber right in there. Fromber is still on the mound. Chris. Fromber Valdez still on the mound. Up to 85 pitches. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rafaela. Here comes the next pitch. 94 below the zone. 2-1. Braden, you have no idea how much time I've spent and money. I've spent a lot more time and money on this than I've gotten back, that's for sure. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the next toss. Ooh, did he hit him? Yeah, he got him in the back. And the coach comes out of the dugout yelling and complaining. Be quiet. Look at him. Comes out of the dugout yelling, but there's the hit. Right below the shoulder there. Coach comes out yelling like he meant to do that. Just be quiet and go back in the dugout, man. Caleb Ort is warming up now. Here comes the pitch. Right in there. 95 miles an hour. Strike 1. Abraham Toro at the plate. Runner on first with no outs. If you use MLB's play-by-play, you get a copyright claim. DeLion. That one misses the mark. Ball 1. The count is even. Yep. Right on that outside lower corner, but called a ball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's in the zone and ground to third. It could be a double play. Create a second and to first. It's not in time. They'll get 1. Just a little too late. Couldn't get the double play. Actually, Fromber hasn't been. Fromber didn't pitch the 4th inning. Fromber sat down and watched while Cooper Hummel pitched. That's what happened in the 4th inning. It wasn't really Fromber. It was Cooper Hummel. First pitch is a strike to Wilyer Abreu. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. No, he goes over to first base. They got him picked off. Here's a throw to second. Yeah, you're out, baby. Fromber picks him off. Yeah, Fromber smiling and patting Walker. He's like, thank you. Thank you so much. He looked so grateful for that out. Look at that throw. Perfect. Right over the shoulder of the base runner. Right over Toro's shoulder. Fromber picks him off at first base, and Christian Walker with a perfect throw to second. 2 away, nobody on. 0-1 is the count against Abreu. There's no time. Time is not running out. This is baseball. There's no such thing as time is running out. Here comes the pitch. Check swing. I think he went around. Yes, he did, baby. Strike 2. 1-2 is the count. Time is never a factor in baseball unless you're talking about the pitch counter. If you're talking about time in the game, then time doesn't matter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Inside, grounded to second base. Urias to first base. Out number 3. How about that? Another good solid inning from Fromber. So Fromber winds up finishing 6th. So I'm happy about that at least. Let's take a look at his stats here. Let me mute that volume there. I'm going to have to run in here and relieve myself, if you know what I'm saying. But first, I want to take a look at the pitches. Valdez's pitches today, 94 in 6 innings, 66 strikes. Giolito, 76 pitches, 51 strikes, but Giolito hasn't yeah, they both pitched a solid 6. They both completed 6. So Giolito had a much lighter workload because of all of the crap that happened in the 4th inning to Fromber. But Fromber pitched 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts only, but no home runs. But he doesn't typically give up home runs, not usually. Christian Walker will be up in just a moment, but I'll be right back. I need to step into the other room for just a moment. Christian Walker at the plate. Giolito still on the mound. First pitch is a ball. Next pitch is going to be what? A little outside, ball 2. Have a good one. Take it easy. Here comes the pitch. This is hit down the third base line. A chop. Walker gets a late start to first base, and he's thrown out. If Walker had run immediately, he would have beaten that throw because it was a big chopper to third, but he delayed too long to run. Bregman is normally really solid over on third base. Walker is out. Yainer Diaz comes to the plate, over 2 today. Let's make it 1 for 3 maybe. 94 in the top of the zone, the very top of the zone, a little above, if you ask me. Strike 1. I appreciate it, Braden. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Next pitch is a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Yainer at the plate facing Giolito, who is up to 82 pitches with this next delivery. Here it comes. Bounce to the third base side. Another grounder to Bregman. Easy play to first. The throw over there was not good, but he was able to tag Diaz. The Tram comes to the plate. 1 walk today, no hits. Astros today haven't been hitting the ball, only 3 hits. 1 big homer from Carlos Correa, but other than that, nothing doing. 78 miles an hour on the curveball, ball 1. Barely missing the zone. 1-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Ball 2. They're going to try to walk Trammell again. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone for strike 1. 2-1. I suppose this will be Giolito's last inning. Here comes the pitch, the 2-1. Outside edge, swing and a miss. 81 miles an hour on the changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Tram. It's going to be disappointing if we get swept again. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, 96 miles an hour. All those good vibes from the trade seem to immediately come to a halt, right? It feels that way. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Way high. Full count. Trammell having a lot of patience at the plate today. Here's the pitch. Tap down to the second baseman who fires over to first. Is he safe? They call him out. Trammell was flying down the line and he says that he's safe. Espada's not going to challenge, but Trammell really booked it down the line. He felt that he was safe at first. Let's take a look. A slow play by the second baseman. Ooh, it was close. Second baseman took an extra step. Kind of a lazy play there. He made it a lot closer than it should have been. Fundamentals. Fundamentals. Bottom of the 7th coming up. It's highly likely that they will bring in Caleb Ort here in the bottom of the 7th for the Astros. Fromber is up to 94 pitches. I would imagine that his day is done. I'm going to take a guess. Since they had Ort warming up, I'll put him in the game and we'll see. Yeah, Crispy, it hasn't been very good. You know what's crazy about this also, if you think about it? Walker had a home run in the first game, had a home run in the second game. Correa had a home run in this game. So it's not like we can't hit them. And we had a lot of hits yesterday. Yesterday we had a lot of hits. It's just that they stopped whenever we got runners on base. It really makes me wonder about why that is. You know what I'm saying? I have been thinking about that a lot. Crispy, wasn't it you that said that yesterday? Maybe the coaches had something to do with it, right? After the runners got on base. I hadn't thought of that, and I think that there might be something to it, because I remember back when I was playing, the coaches are very familiar with what the players are able to do, their weaknesses, their strengths, you know, the way they bat, their style, and the situation, right? And sometimes I'd be asked to do things that were not only strange, but didn't seem to fit the situation and didn't play to my strengths. And so trying to focus and do that kind of threw off my at-bat. Ort is indeed on the mound. The first pitch is high for ball 1. So I don't rule that out as a possible explanation for the Astros getting guys on base but not able to score them. 93 in the top of the zone, fouled off for strike 1. The count is even. Yeah, we're just going to have to suffer until we get more pitchers in, Dave. That's true. That one is way high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Connor Wong at the plate with the 2-1 count here in the bottom of the 7th. Caleb Ort on the mound. Here's the toss. This is grounded foul down the third base side. 2-2. It looks like I'm going to be able to get... Most likely I'm going to be able to get myself to sleep at 3:30. This is grounded to third base. Correa fires it to first and makes a nice play for out number 1. Yeah, you're right. They are closing the gap a little bit in the AL West. Very first pitch to Rob Refsnyder is ripped foul into the upper deck. Strike 1. Yep. Altuve can keep marching closer and closer to 3,000. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, low in the zone. 0-2 is the count with 1 out, nobody on. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout for Ort. Refsnyder goes down. Caleb Ort has Refsnyder's number. Striking him out 2 days in a row. Here comes the first pitch to Alex Bregman, right in there for strike 1. 2 outs, nobody on. Bregman 0 for 3 today. A couple of ground outs and a line out. Here comes the 0-1 pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Amen to that, Dave. One ball, 1 strike to Breggy. Here's the pitch from Ort. Low and outside on the slider. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, well, the most important series we have for sure is going to be against the Mariners or the Rangers right now, you know. Here comes the pitch, the 2-1. Nice, 95 in the bottom of the zone. Strike 2, the count is even. Two and 2 with 2 outs. Check swing, did he go? They say he did not. Nice Swiffer, got him kind of going around. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like he held up. Almost got him. Full count. Here comes the toss. Get him, Ort. Tommy wants swingy. This is hit out and into right field. Sanchez is over, and it's just into the stands. He can't get to it. It's into the Sanchez. We're going to have another 3 count, a 3-2 count rather. I'm feeling so sleepy right now. Thanks, Braden. Go enjoy that video. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard to left field. Is it going to be foul? Woo, barely foul. That was a homer. Just a few feet foul. Look how close that was. Right by the foul pole. Right by the foul pole. Just a few feet to the left. Bregman ripped that one out there. Look how close this was. Woo! Yeah, maybe about 6 feet. 6 feet to the left of the foul pole. Dad got his kid a ball. That's nice. Bregman ball. Here's the 3-2. Outside, ball 4. So we're going to have an extended inning. Base runner on. Bregman goes to first base. Roman Anthony comes to the plate. Okay, so Judy, professional sports should be played on the Sabbath. What day's the Sabbath? You mean on the Black Sabbath? Womp womp. Sorry, couldn't resist. That is on the inside edge for strike 1. Seventh-day Adventists had the Sabbath on Saturday. Are you talking about Saturday or are you talking about Sunday? Here comes the pitch. Low. And what about amateur sports? I guess that's okay. Professional sports, no. But amateur sports, that's okay. Minor leagues, little league, those are okay, right? On the Sabbath. 1-1 is the pitch count. Swing and a miss on the changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Roman Anthony. It's also okay to watch professional sports and comment about it on the Sabbath, I guess. On what you think is the Sabbath. So funny. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. Woo, way inside. Diaz is able to, ooh, that was off the leg of the umpire. He is hobbling around. I was thinking there for a second that Diaz blocked that one, but it wasn't Diaz, it was the leg of the umpire. Take a look at this. Boom, right below the knee. Pain. For those of you who've watched Naruto the anime, you shall know pain. If you get that reference, good on you. He's still rubbing it too, man. He's really feeling it. Feeling it, working it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Roman Anthony. Let's see if Ort can get him right here. Let's do it. Oh, 88 miles an hour in the dirt. It does not go back to the future. Instead, it goes to 3-2. Thank you guys and gals for being here. Not a very fun game right now, but we'll deal with it. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 89 miles an hour at the top of the zone. We're going to have another 3-2 pitch. You will all be interested to hear that when I had my video call with my friend in China earlier, he was talking about his experience in America recently. 96 miles an hour, fouled back again. The count remains 3-2. He said he was absolutely amazed at the courtesy of the drivers in America, because he said they were on their way somewhere and they were waiting to turn, and the other car coming the other way, they waved at them to let them go first. He said, I was shocked. He said that will never happen in China, and he's right. Right in there, strike 3, 97, right in the middle of the plate, and for a change, for a nice change of scenery, the Red Sox players stand there and take strike 3. That's what I like to see. Good job. Smurfin' A. Smurf off. You can go sit down. Jeremy Pena is due up to bat. No. My bad. Mauricio Dubon. Pena is in the hole. Mauricio Dubon is due up, followed by Ramon Urias, and then Pena, the Flash. So Doobie, Urias, Pena. Top of the 8th coming up. We've got 2 more opportunities. Let's see what can be done here in the top of the 7th. Will the Astros go gangbusters and score 10 runs this inning? It can happen. It absolutely can happen. For sure. It's 2:41 a.m. here. And I am about ready to pass out. Can't even drink my coffee right now. I'm so half asleep. All right. Let's go, Astros. Doobie at the plate, 0 for 2 today. He's about to make it 1 for 3. And get this 8th inning party started. Hajimete kudasai. Let's begin, please. Please, let's get it started. Here comes the pitch. Strike 1 right in there. Giolito's still in the game. 90 pitches as of right now. Let's see if we can knock him out. Let's knock him out this inning. Outside, ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Hits straight up in the air. Is that playable? No, that's going to be out of play, thankfully. It hits the net behind the plate. And it gets stuck. That's funny. It landed on the net behind the plate and got stuck right by the cameras. It never came down. That's funny. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Doobie-Doo. Ruby-Roo. Come on, Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby. Here's a 1-2 pitch. 93 on the outside edge. He fouls that one off down the first base side, and that's going to be playable. Another foul ball fly out. 1 away. Ramon Urias comes to the plate with 1 out, nobody on. Here comes the first pitch from Giolito. In the dirt. Ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Right in there. 86 miles an hour in the middle of the zone. The count is even. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here comes the toss. In the dirt. 2-1. Urias is 0 for 2 today. Here comes the pitch. He hits this one in the air all the way out to center field, but it's going to be playable on the warning track. Makes a little hopping catch right before he gets to the wall. Out number 2. 2 flyouts and a foul out today for Urias. Nothing doing there. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. Center fielder making it look a little more difficult than what it really was. Here's the first pitch to Pena. Right in there, 94 miles an hour, strike 1. 2 outs, nobody on. Time for a rally, a 2-out rally. Astros scored 10 runs with 2 outs. I want to see it. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Pena rips that down the left field line. Man, that was a nice, solid line drive, but about 5 or 6 seats over into foul territory. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. Man, that was a terrible pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. They're making a call to the bullpen now. Finally getting somebody up and getting them warm. You wait until he's over 100 pitches? That's interesting. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. 102 pitches now for Giolito. Here comes the 2-2 to Pena. Swing and a miss right in there. 82 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone. Nothing doing for the Astros in the 8th. So we had 1 homer in the 4th by Correa. And other than that, nothing. Who else has the hits here? Of course, Altuve has 1. Sanchez has 1. Correa has 1. Our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th batter have all of our hits. Just 3 hits. But the only one that really matters in this game is that homer. But we're still down by 5. Going into the bottom of the 8th. Romy Gonzalez is scheduled to be at the plate. We'll see if that's the case in just a moment. It probably will be. I don't see why they would need to pinch hit for him. It's difficult when they're showing these commercial highlights. Baseball's in. The Astros hitting home runs. We need that in this game. We need more of that in this game. I want my home runs and I want it now. Did you guys ever see that commercial? That's an old commercial. It's my money and I want it now. I think it was about like a refund or something, like a tax refund or something like that. And instead of waiting on it, you could use this service and they would go ahead and give you the money the same day. And of course they would take a fee out of it. But the acting in that commercial was so ridiculous. It sounded more like, the acting wasn't very good, but they sounded like spoiled children. It's my money and I want it now. I wouldn't be able to be around an adult like that. Swing and a miss. Nick Hernandez is in the game now for the Astros. Change that picture. There we go. 0-1 on that swing and a miss. Here comes 0-1 pitch in the dirt. 1-1. He is facing Romy Gonzalez. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Way outside. Was that a Swiffer? 2 balls and 1 strike. Man, I'm running out of gas. It's about 9 minutes till 3 in the morning here. Here is the pitch. 91 miles an hour right in the zone. Fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I wouldn't say that we're giving it to him, shoot. I think of it more as like they're trying to hold on to a rope that's been greased, you know. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This is fouled off. Count remains 2-2. To say that they're giving it to him is not fair. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Grounded to third. No, to shortstop. Pena grabs it and fires to first to get the out. One away. Good play by Pena. Best home record in MLB since June. Red Sox are 19-4. Super hot at home right now. Yeah, so we're playing the #1 home team since the beginning of June, basically. Trevor Story at the plate. Fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Oh, and 1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Little high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Story. Hernandez with the 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike here in the bottom of the 8th. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. A little high, ball 2. 2-1. Yeah, Charlie, we had a really good streak for a long time, and we're having some hiccups right now, but it'll be okay. Here's the pitch. This is hit high in the air out to center field. Trammell comes in and puts it away. Out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Nick Hernandez. 10 pitches. Yeah, and Chris, Red Sox are not only the #1 home team, second place is not even close. Here comes the next pitch, the very first pitch to Ceddanne Rafaela. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That's an interesting quote, DeLion. I have to read that. 91 up and in, ball 1. The count is 1-1 with 2 outs to Ceddanne Rafaela. DeLion says one of the players, I can't remember who, said it feels like spring training again with these new guys. Kind of looks like it too. We'll get it going. Yeah, if you got that feeling, you know, that means you're trying to work it out. Swing and a miss there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hernandez 1 strike away from having a nice clean inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Way outside. Can't tell if that was a Swiffer or just a really crazy slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch from Hernandez. This is hit high in the air. Tramel's coming in. He's not going to be able to get it. It's going to drop in for a single. No clean inning for Hernandez, and that's the 3rd hit for Rafaela today. He's 3 for 3. Runner on first with 2 outs. Abraham Toro comes to the plate. First pitch from Hernandez. No, he goes over to first base, but it's not even competitive. He's back, no problem. A little bit of a reset. Ooh, man. In this inning, help me get to bed. This is hit really hard out to right field, but it's foul. That was a nice rip. Strike 1 to Toro. Acknowledgement demands respect. Here's the pitch. Tapper to short. Pena scoops and fires. Woo, what a play by Pena. Charges in, scoops it up, fires to first. This is our last chance. So who is due up for the Astros? None other than Jose Altuve. Altuve is due up, followed by Jesus Sanchez and Carlos Correa. Abraham Toro. Honestly, Chris, I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I will say this, though. It was really difficult to follow while I was in China for various reasons. China, it's no joke. China is no joke about blocking stuff. Sometimes I couldn't even get my email. I couldn't even check my email. They block so much stuff, and every day they're adding more and more and more websites and services. They're just constantly blocking more and more and more. These days, they've even got companies taking people's passports away. Whenever you get hired for a job, they say if you want this job, you have to turn in your passport. And whenever you finish the job, they give you your passport back. Just some really crazy stuff. They're even doing that to teachers. Normally they do that to like government personnel. But recently they've been taking away even school teachers' passports. I'm telling you, the days of the Chinese Communist Party are numbered. They are running on fumes right now. The best YouTuber ever. I must be, because I've got nearly 900 subs. Mr. Beast has nothing on me, that's for sure. Instead of the Beast games, we got the Astros games. But I don't know anything about the grass pattern in the field. Are you talking about the alternate colors? The alternate shades? Is that what you're talking about? Chris Murphy is on the mound. We have a different pitcher. Giolito is out of the game and Altuve's at the plate. First pitch, curveball, right in there for a strike. Whew. And I'm having a hard time keeping my eyes open. Come on, Altuve, I got your jersey on, bro. Hook us up. In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Toro used to be our Dubon. Something about good grass I love. Well, you can come here and cut my grass. My grass out here is Bregman catches a foul ball from Altuve. One away. Cooper Hummel is hitting for Sanchez. Is that an upgrade? We'll find out. The strategy of losing isn't working. Yeah, Joe Spotty gets everybody together before the game. Alright, guys. Let's do a little reverse psychology. Let's lose, and then lose, and then lose again. No one will expect that. That's our strategy. First pitch to Hummel is a strike. The second pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 95 miles an hour in the top of the zone. 0-2. Hummel batting 172. He's blowing it up this year. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They say he did. That's strike 3. Hummel go. Hummel. I think that's the second time I've done that. Cooper Hummel goes down on 3 pitches. Good pinch hit decision there, Joe Spada. I praise you, sir. Pull out our new guy to put in Cooper Hummel. Carlos Correa, the only RBI we have at the plate, 88 miles an hour, up and out for ball 1. Watch him hit another home run. Can you imagine? 2 runs on the board, 2 home runs from Correa, and no production from anybody else. What a sad game that would be. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. They do the passport thing in the UAE also. Yeah, there are some little quirks in different countries that just make them too dangerous for me. Here's the pitch. Fouled back by Correa. 2 balls and 1 strike. An Indonesian guy that I know told me that if you're in Singapore and you have your plate in the restaurant. Here's the pitch, by the way. Lined to Bregman. He knocks it down and tries to make the throw to first base, and he's got it for out number 3. That's going to be it. I'm going to pause it right there because I'm not interested in hearing the crowd cheer. The game is over. The Astros lose 6-1. You know, if you look at it, the Red Sox only had 8 hits. It's not a whole lot for a whole game. 8 hits. But 6 runs, that's the ouch. That's the ouchie. And the other ouchie is that the Astros only had 3 hits and 1 run. That's a double ouchie. So, there you go. Mark, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that Hummel is basically horrible against everybody. That was my point. I wasn't trying to compare their batting averages. I was just saying that pulling out one guy who's not batting well against these types of pitchers for another guy who's not batting well against anybody is just a funny substitution. I think that's funny. Could have put in Caratini. You know? Caratini would have been a much better choice than Hummel. Yeah, in Chaz, yeah, that's another one, DeLion. Good. Yeah, we had better options than Cooper Hummel. Winning streak incoming, Guerrero. That's true. We got one coming. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why Correa didn't beat that throw at first base. Seemed like he had time, but I guess not. I'm not going to bother with the scoring summary because the Astros only scored once, and that was a homer by Correa. The rest of the runs were scored by the Red Sox, and I'm not interested in recapping all that. But I will tell you Fromber's performance today. He just melted down a little bit in the 4th inning. But look at the bright side. He had a terrible 4th inning. But before that and after that, the Astros gave up nothing. Think about that. The Astros gave up 0 runs before the 4th inning and after the 4th inning. Literally nothing. All of the Red Sox runs came in the 4th inning. So 6 innings pitched for Fromber, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 6 total in the 4th, just 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. Giolito gets the win. He had a really good game against the Astros for some reason. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits only, 1 earned run. That was the homer by Correa. 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. The Astros were putting the bat on the ball. They were just grounding out, fouling out. They fouled out a lot. They flew out. They hit it everywhere but where they needed to hit it. So they lose this game. Let's take a look. I think we can pull up the next games. Let's take a look at the schedule here. Okay, that series is over. We go straight into Miami. Now, if we can't win this series, then we got some serious problems, but we're starting off with Alexander. Jason Alexander will be back on the mound for the Astros tomorrow. I've got some early games, 7:40 a.m. and 5:40 a.m. I will say this, though. I want to let you guys and gals know, this game right here, for anyone in the U.S., this is Monday. But for me, this game, let's see. Well, let me take a look at it. Yeah, that's right. This game on Tuesday, if it runs a little long, I might have to leave a little early. I have to drive out of town. It's about an hour drive to go to another city and have a little interview. There is a place there that I'm thinking about going to work, if possible. And I'm kind of 50-50 on it right now. I haven't been back to work yet because I've been on medical leave. So it's a really big step for me to go back to work. And we'll see. But Tuesday morning, which is Monday in the U.S., I've got to make this drive. So my plan is to get up and do this game. And hopefully the game goes by pretty quickly, and then I'm able to finish and then drive. But we'll see. That's going to be the next game. The good thing is, after I go to sleep, I don't have any games all day tomorrow. For the rest of the day today, rather. So that's nice. But yeah, Miami coming up, but we're going to have to lock it down because after Miami, we have New York and Boston again. We've got some big games coming up. 3 at New York and 3 versus Boston in Houston. And then after the Orioles, we've got to play Detroit. Man, we got a lot of games coming up against Baltimore. And then more games against New York. Then later on, Texas. Yeah, we got some challenging games ahead. I don't know who said that this schedule was easy. It doesn't look so easy to me. New York, Boston, Detroit, New York again, Texas again, Seattle again, the A's. Good grief. Don't want to even think about the A's again. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I can do now is say, let's look at the scoreboard. Is anything interesting going on right now? The Braves and the Reds? Nope. Who cares about the draft Dodgers? Bottom of the second, the Blue Jays are tied up with the Royals 0-0. The Stankies beating the Marlins by 1. Anything else going on? No, these games haven't started yet. These won't start until later. Well, we get swept by the Red Sox in Boston. Woohoo! All right. Good series. I think we learned a lot, didn't we? What did we learn? All right. That's it for me, guys. It's 3:10 in the morning. I am so sleepy. This game, maybe this game took it out of me. But the good news is I think I can lie down and go straight to sleep right now. It feels nice and cool in here. And I'm going to replay this game in my head with a different result. I'm going to rewrite it in my mind so I can enjoy a better result. But as always, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it was a tough series, and this was a tough game. But we just have to grin and bear it just a little longer. Just a little longer. Yep. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, that's right, Fred. But maybe the spring training vibes will be gone soon. Later, Delian, thank you so much for being here. And you too, Fred, you have a good one. Chris says we've learned the teams that we don't want to play. That's right. We got a few of those. Anyway, that's it for now. Best wishes and best love, happiness, and all that to all of you. And go Astros. See you tomorrow for the Marlins series. Until then,